What's up YouTube? This is M West, and today I'll be talking about switching from an Android phone to a Verizon iPhone. For a lot of people, the switch is a little hard because you're not sure what apps you should be using or what apps are comparable. So I'll just review a few apps that help me make the transition a little bit smoother. Right here is my original Android phone, and then here's the new Verizon iPhone. And the first app or the biggest concern for me was the navigation turn by turn. While the iPhone does have a navigation app on it, it has a Google Maps app. It's not the same as the original navigation app that comes with your Android phone. It doesn't have that turn by turn navigation. You won't hear a voice telling you where to go. Yes, you'll be able to search things. Things are really similar between these two apps, but it's not as good as the one on the Android platform. The apps that I found that might be able to kind of give you that same type of turn-by-turn navigation voice, so you don't have to look down at your iPhone as you're traveling. You can just hear the instructions. It would be a program application called Wave. It's supposed to be like a social navigation application that as you drive to as you drive around different places, it gives you information, it gives you points, it gives you credits. You can put flags down for places that you've been. It's a little weird to me. I don't like it. I've used it, but I immediately uninstall it. I didn't like that aspect of it. The other program you can get is Navigon, and then I'll have the price off on the right hand side for you guys. And it's more of an expensive one. It's similar to what you'd see on one of the Navigon devices or a TomTom, and that would be similar to getting the Google Maps that you're used to from the Android. That was one of the key things that almost made me not switch, because I was so used to using the navigation app on my Android phone. The next app would be the Google Talk. Google Talk is for your instant messenger, the one that you see when you open up your Gmail. So for my Google Talk, I have that right here on my Android phone, and the thing that would be comparable to that is IM Plus Pro. And what this does, it acts just like it's the Google Talk, and it lets you talk to your friends. The only thing is, it shuts down after about 12 hours, but you can make that extend to about 24 hours, and then it kind of gives you messages whenever it closes down. But that's the app that's closest to the Google Talk for me. They don't have a comparable app from Google for the iPhone. I'll go ahead and list the price for this app also on the right hand side. Just as a note, this app will also you can log in for your Twitter account, you can log in on your Yahoo account, you can log on your MSN account. You have a variety of different accounts that you can log in on, and let me show you really quickly. Under accounts, and we'll go plus. And see, you have your AOL, your Twitter, your Facebook, your Gtalk, your Jabber, your ICQ, your MySpace. Just about everything under the sun you'll be able to log in using this application. So it's just not good for Gtalk, but it's good for a variety of different things. But I found it the most useful for the Gtalk. The other app would be Google Voice. So that app would be here. I really like the Google Voice app, and it works pretty well. It's basically like visual voicemail. And then it also sends you text messages so that you can read it. A lot of times it's crazy or funny words. It doesn't always make sense, but it's still a really cool feature. And then the one thing that I really liked about it is that you can have as many voicemails as you want. No more worrying about your inbox getting too full, or you need to delete some messages, or them automatically deleting your messages after a certain amount of time. Google Voice works really great. And I think it's a great application. And then you can also use it to make long distance phone calls. So they do have a comparable app on the iPhone, which is the exact same thing, which would be the Google Voice as well. It opens up. The only thing that I can't get to work is the spam filter. For some reason, I'm unable to flag certain people as spam to stop them from calling me. But so you would be able to get this exact same app basically on the iPhone. The next one was the Gmail app. The Gmail app, They have a very similar one. You can definitely set up your normal Gmail. You can download Gmail apps, or you can set it up using Microsoft Exchange. And what I found with using the Exchange, it worked. It seemed like it kept in sync with my Gmail a little bit better, while the logging in or using the Gmail apps, they didn't work as well, and I don't like them as much. I actually uninstalled it after trying it, and I just logged in using the Exchange. I'll go ahead and put some links on the side so you guys can see exactly how to set that Exchange up, because it seems like just the syncing and keeping track and notification of my email, of my Gmail account, worked a lot better. It still can't compare to the Gmail hands down, because you can star stuff. You can do a bunch. You just have a little bit more features, and Gmail had recently been updated on the Android platform. Google Listen. For those of you who don't know what Google Listen is, it's like a podcast app. And what it would do is just every day every day or every hour, you can set it in different increments. It would go out and it would look for podcasts and would download my favorite podcast. And then you can log onto your computer and use Google Reader to see those exact same podcasts. But as we know, that podcasts, they almost started with the Apple platform. So all the podcasts that I usually listen to, usually I would get from iTunes. But I could never find an app that worked really well that would let me download podcasts without hooking it up to my computer and then syncing, or the podcast on my iPhone telling me that the file was too large. A friend actually recommended this app to me, and it's called Podcaster. It's a really great app. It downloads your podcast. You can set it in increments, or you can just hit refresh. It'll do it over 3G. There's no limit. You can get any videos you want. Sometimes on the Google Listen would have problems syncing or getting me the podcast in a timely fashion. There was always some type of error. Sometimes it wouldn't download them correctly. Sometimes I have to be on Wi-Fi, and there's an option to toggle between Wi-Fi or 3G, and even if I would be on 3G, I still couldn't download my podcast. While Podcaster on the iPhone works well all the time. It's my new favorite app, actually. We go here, and then you can click on refresh up there, and it'll start refreshing, and it'll start looking for any podcast that you set as your favorites. You can search it, and it works independently from the podcast, or from the iPod symbol that should show up on your iPhone. So it works independently from that. So you would go into the application, and then you'd be able to listen to the podcast yourself. Another thing on the iPhone is the phone books, and things don't sync up the exact same way from your Gmail contact list. You would actually have to go into iTunes and set that up, and I can put a link on the side for you guys that want to know how to set that up correctly, because there is a way how you can do that, and it would sync up with your Gmail so that you can receive all your contacts. You think just by telling it to, or by syncing it through Exchange and things like that, it would pick it up a little bit easier, but for some reason there's a little, it doesn't communicate as well. With my Android phone, any changes that I would make in my contact list and my Gmail account would automatically sync. If I change the last name or just a letter, just by going into my Android phone, I'd be able to see that update. The next thing I want to talk about, most people know about rooting and jailbreaking your phone, but with the Android, if you want to just install applications that weren't from the marketplace, all you would have to do is enable that feature, and you'd be able to use applications that you normally wouldn't find in the Android marketplace. With the iPhone, you actually have to jailbreak it using Green Poison, and then after you put Green Poison on there, then you would get another application called Cydia, and then once you get Cydia on there, then you'd be able to get additional applications that you normally couldn't find in the marketplace. Currently with Cydia, I am currently using a few different apps. I'm actually using one called Multicom Mover. And these are apps that I definitely recommend you get. If you have an iPhone, go ahead and get it jailbroken so that you can have access to some of these great apps. Mainly if you want to move an icon, you would hold it down and then struggle and try to move it all over the place. Well, Multicom Mover, all you would do is just tap it, go to your next page, tap it again. If you want to move it back, tap it, and check mark comes up, and then you put it right back. And so that's a really cool functionality that's not in any other app, and you can only find that in Cydia. A next one I'd always recommend is Side Delete, and what this does, it's in your settings, and it just stops you from deleting Cydia. Some people accidentally delete it, and you don't want to get rid of Cydia because Cydia is like the marketplace for all of the, I don't want to call it black market apps, or I'd want to call it maybe gray market apps, because not all the apps are okayed by Apple, and some of them give you certain functionality or features that you normally wouldn't have. And so you want to be extra careful and not accidentally delete Cydia. Or if somebody's playing a game on your phone, they wouldn't be able to delete it on accident. This feature right here on my Android phone was one of my favorite features. I actually went to Hawaii with my wife, sitting in the room. We wanted to check out our wedding photos. I used the wireless tether, jumped on my iPad, and I was able to connect, see the pictures, full screen, nice big screen, and we were able to look at all of our wedding photos because we hadn't seen them. And to get that same type of feature, this actually came free after I rooted my phone. It just came on there. But to actually get that feature, you would actually need to get an app called MyWi. And what MyWi does is creates a wireless hotspot. This app is $20 from Cydia. Normally, you would have to pay Verizon an additional $20 with your unlimited data plan. So that's an extra $50 minus plus your phone bill or your unlimited text messages that you'd have to pay a month just to be able to have this tethering function. With this program, MyWi, you can only get it through Cydia. It allows you to do that for free, but it does cost $20 up front. It allows you to tether 3 different ways: Bluetooth, connected, and wirelessly. You can connect up to 5 devices with it, just like you could with the same Verizon tethering. These are my top picks for Cydia apps right now. There's a bunch of different apps. Like there's one that allows you to see notifications in the bar at the top, similar to how you would on the Android phone. So all my notifications would show up here, and I can click on it, and I'd be able to see whatever that was that I wanted to take a look at, just by pulling down on this bar up here. And you can get that same type of feature on the iPhone, but you'd get it through Cydia. There's another one that offers notifications in the very front of your phone on the lock screen. So right here, when you come in, you'd be able to see like your Twitter, your Gmail, or your email period. You'd be able to see some advanced settings. You'd be able to see some task killing information that you normally wouldn't be able to see unless you had that particular app. The app's kind of in beta right now, so I don't feel comfortable downloading it. And again, with Cydia or with any app that's not in the App Store or supported by the manufacturer of the phone, if it does mess up your phone, you're responsible, and you'll need to take care of that on your own. And so usually I kind of play by ear. I'll read about it. If a lot of people are downloading it and they're saying that it's safe, and it does say that it's safe for my particular phone model, I'll go ahead and download it and check it out. But I don't feel comfortable with that application. So far, these are my favorite apps for the iPhone, and it should help you to make switching over a little bit easier. If you guys have any other favorite or any apps that are your favorite, go ahead and put them in the comments below. If you guys have any questions about where I got some of these apps from, or anything else that I'm recommending for the Verizon iPhone to help make switching from the Android to the iPhone a little bit easier, go ahead and leave it in the comment section, and I'll try to answer your question as soon as possible. Other than that, thanks for checking out my 3rd video, YouTube. Peace.